The second part of your seed lab setup is where there's going to be variables depending on how you choose to set it up. After all, you are the scientist. And so the initial lab, we used a Ziploc bag, a paper towel, and seeds. You will be doing a comparison, and that comparison is going to be up to you to set up. That's why it's so important that you record your data in the student choice data table. You might make the choice to use a Ziploc bag again and a paper towel. However, it might be different seeds that you use. For example, if you used pepper seeds in one setup, you might choose to use maple or dandelion in another. If you choose to go that Ziploc bag route again, make sure that you do label your seed type. And it might be that you choose to put one set of pepper seeds in the light and another set in a dark closet. Just don't forget about them. Another option that you could try if you live somewhere where they use K-cups is you could decide that you are going to recycle a K-cup. The great thing about a K-cup is that it does have a drainage hole. So I'm going to peel off the lid of my K-cup, keeping in mind I am doing this over newsprint, so the mess I make will be easy to clean up. There's a lot of coffee grounds in this K-cup. Now you might choose that you're going to plant seeds in the coffee grounds to see what happens, and that's fine. Again, you would indicate that on the media you chose to use to set up. K-cup with coffee grounds. Or you may choose to dump those coffee grounds out, and maybe you've got some soil outside that you're going to put in. Note that when I dump my coffee grounds out, I still actually have a coffee filter that I need to remove before I get a pure K-cup. And again, this is an example that if you have a K-cup, you want to use that, you've got some soil from home, you could certainly add that soil to your cup. Then plant 5 seeds or 10 seeds, depending on the study you are creating. Add water, and if you're doing this, you're going to add water as often as needed in the 14-day time that our lab is going to cover. One thing to note with a soil cup setup with a drainage hole, as you can see, mine has a ton of water because my soil was dry. So think about how that might influence your plant growth. Also, if you're dripping like this, use a catch tray or something to keep this lab experiment on. It could be that you have a Dixie cup or paper cup somewhere that you could use as a pot or a container. I filled this with soil before I started the video, and I am going to stick my maple seeds, 5 of them, again, 5 simply because of the easy math, into that particular cup of soil that I've prepared, and I'm going to add a little bit more soil on top of them. Again, I happen to have access to soil, so add a little bit more soil on top of them, and with that added soil, I will water it, and over the course of 14 days, if they need more water, I will add water as needed. What if you don't have a pot? That's where some creativity comes in. I have just a piece of paper that came in the mail. I'm going to take a glass that I have, roll the paper over the glass, fold the bottom of the paper in, tape the side of the paper around the glass. Don't worry, parents, the glass will not be used. I'm pulling the glass out. I am going to secure the bottom of my container Going to then kind of reopen it, make sure that it stands. It's not the most stable creation, but I would be able to add soil, add water, and have a growing container. You'll notice that today I recorded in a shirt that said, "Make the future." You are the scientists as you create and prepare this data. It's entirely possible that you might set up an experiment using an origami box, that you have pots available to use to plant in, that you choose to set up the second phase of your lab in some other way. That's why it's so important to identify the media that you chose to use to set up. You are the makers, you are the creators, you are the scientists, and this second portion of the lab setup is a design that's up to you to create.